Hello guys, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. So, today we are gonna see, what if Naruto and Temari married and have child, part 1. Subscribe if you enjoy the video, and also check the description. So let's begin the story. 18-year-old Uzumaki Naruto held a blood kunai in his hand while standing under the rain. It was drenched with the blood of 50 civilians of Konoha. They had been on his nerves that night. It happened after he left the ramen restaurant. 50 guys started following Naruto while he was going home and said things to provoke him. Hey demon boy, leave this village, no one wants you. Go die you freak. Demons aren't welcome in Konoha. You'll never become a Hokage. I can't believe you have friends. Who'd want to be friends with a demon? The insults kept coming until Naruto's anger just burst. The 50 villagers charged at him with any type or weapon or tool. The seal which trapped Naruto was breaking. Kyuubi's chakra was leaking from Naruto, and a red chakra could be seen. The men started to panic, but Naruto rushed towards them with a kunai. They tried running, but they couldn't run far from Naruto. When it was all over, Naruto held his bloody kunai. He dropped his kunai and started trembling. He looked at his bloody hands. What have I done? Naruto said. You. What happened here? And Anbu asked. I didn't mean to. It just happened. Naruto tried to explain. You killed them all? No. It's not like that. I didn't mean to. Don't make excuses, murderer. I always knew you'd end up killing someone in Konoha. The Anbu said as he drew his sword. He jumped and swung his sword at Naruto, but Naruto dodged and pushed his kunai into the heart of the Anbu ninja. Naruto couldn't believe what he had done. He had just killed an Anbu. I have to run. If I don't, I'll be executed. In the hidden village of Sand, a very similar event was occurring. Gaara was standing in the middle of the street with his brother, Kankuro, and his sister, Temari. Gaara was being tormented by the villagers. Then a large mob came and tried to kill him, but the sand automatically killed them. The Akatsuki came to the scene with all the unavailable. Gaara, you've killed them all. You're no longer welcome in this village. Kill him, this was ordered. Wait. It's not his fault. They were provoking him. And the sand killed them, not Gaara. It was an automatic defense. Temari tried to explain. Unfortunately, it was futile. They threw their shurikens at Gaara. Temari parried them with her fan. We have to get out of here, Temari said. Kankuro stepped in front of Temari and Gaara. He pulled out his puppet and said to his sister and brother, get out of here. I'll keep these guys busy. But you'll get killed, Temari said. Just shut up and get Gaara out of here. I made a promise to mom, and I'm gonna keep it. Now go, Kankuro said as he prepared to fight the ninjas of the hidden village of Sand. Temari tried to hide her tears, but she couldn't. She knew this would be the last time she'd see her brother. Goodbye, brother. Thank you. Yeah, whatever. Now get going. Gaara and Temari began to run as fast as they could, while Kankuro tried to hold them off. He tried his best to buy them some time, but he was killed quickly and was unable to buy any time for his sister and brother. After seeing Gaara and Temari flee, the Akatsuki quit pursuing them and labeled Gaara as an S-rank criminal. In Konoha, Tsunade and several Anbu stood over the many bodies of the villagers killed by Naruto. One of the Anbu picked up the kunai which was stuck in the chest of the dead Anbu and showed it to Tsunade. That kunai was different from normal. It was made of platinum. Naruto white, Tsunade whispered. It was Uzumaki Naruto. I officially declare him as an S-rank criminal. How do you know it's him? One of the Anbu asked. Tsunade showed him the kunai. This is the platinum kunai presented to the winner of the Chunin selection exam. He won, and I presented this to him. Send 2 Anbu teams to search for him. Damn it. I didn't want to kill them. But they got what was coming. Crap. Anbu Naruto increased his speed. Where can I go now? I can stop by the hidden village of Sand and visit Gaara. Gaara and Temari had been running for hours until they reached the forest in the country of fire. They could no longer sense the sand ninjas, so they stopped and rested. Temari curled up into a ball and let the tears run down her cheeks. He's gone. He's really gone. Temari said. We won't forget his sacrifice. Gaara said. Then he turned his head to the right where he sensed chakra. I sense a familiar chakra. I'm going to investigate. Stay here. He said as he left. Gaara ran towards the source of the chakra. He heard a clash of metal and a scream. Then he saw a red chakra surrounding a blonde ninja. It was Naruto. He was fighting off a bunch of Anbu. Gaara went to help out. Rasengan Naruto hit one of the Anbu with a technique that Jiraiya taught him. The Anbu screamed in pain and was left dead with a hole in his chest. This isn't the Naruto I know from 6 years ago. Desert funeral. Gaara killed 3 Anbu with that one technique. The rest of the Anbu fled. Naruto looked at Gaara with a smile. I was just on my way to visit you. Me too. Gaara and Naruto jumped through the trees to meet up with Temari. Temari had finally stopped crying. The 3 were now discussing what to do now that they were all S-rank criminals. Let's explore the world. We'll just travel from country to country eating ramen. Naruto suggested. Temari and Gaara looked at Naruto strangely. Well, we have no other plan, so let's do that. Gaara said. Temari agreed. The three ninjas were now going to travel around different countries. Naruto, Gaara and Temari had been running east for a day without sleep. They had almost reached a town until they detected 5 squads of Anbu. The trio hid in the trees and waited for the Anbu to be in their view. Where did they go? One of the Anbu asked. Taiju Cage Bunch and no many Naruto clones were created and they all attacked the Anbu. Gaara tried attacking them with a desert coffin and Temari used her sickling winds to attack. The Anbu were knocked down, but they quickly recovered. They all drew their swords and attacked, or they made seals and performed high-level techniques. Gaara-san protected him. All of Naruto's clones were destroyed. Naruto jumped in front of Temari so she wouldn't get hit by Anbu's sword. Naruto, however, got slashed across his back. He screamed in pain. Nah, Naruto, why? Red chakra was starting to surround Naruto. What's this weird chakra? Temari wondered. His teeth became sharper as well as his nails. His eyes looked like a demon's eyes. Temari was frightened. What is he? He is a demon. Naruto turned around and grabbed Anbu's sword and stabbed him in the chest. Then Naruto used shadow replication techniques and slaughtered them all. Naruto started calming down and the red chakra died away. Naruto's wound also began to heal. They finally reached a town and decided to rest for the night, get supplies and then run to wherever. They checked in at a hotel. Gaara decided to stay and the other 2 ninjas went and checked out the town. They came across a clothing store. Let's get some cloaks. We may need them to hide our faces. Naruto said. Yeah, like wearing cloaks won't already make us look suspicious. Temari said in a sarcastic tone. Fine. We'll just get some masks or something. People will know that we're S-rank criminals pretty soon. I'm hungry. Let's get some ramen. They ate dinner at a ramen restaurant close to the hotel. Naruto, Temari said. Yeah, thanks. For earlier when you took the hit for me. And thanks for helping Gaara. How did I help Gaara? You told him you understood his pain. It really changed him. Well, in that case you're welcome. Naruto said with a smile. While smiling, Temari watched Naruto eat ramen thinking that he's a great guy. After dinner, the trio went back to the hotel. Let's get a lot of sleep. We're going to be running a lot. Naruto said. Ah. Save me. Run. Naruto was remembering the night when he killed those people. He could hear them screaming. It was so loud. He looked at his hands. They were so bloody. Then a black circle appeared under Naruto and he fell in. He landed on his feet and looked around. Everything was black. There was no source of light. Then he saw a pair of red demonic eyes. You did a good job killing those weak fools. Let's go kill some more. They suggested. No, why not? You're a murderer. Just like me. Just like Gaara. No, Naruto's eyes opened as he woke up. He was sweating and his covers were on the floor. He had been tossing and turning all night long. He got up and went into the washroom to wash his face. After washing his face, he went out to the balcony to get some air. He thought about the events that took place and his new future. He realized that he will never have a chance at becoming the next Hokage. It's hard to get over killing innocent people. Said a voice from behind. Naruto turned to see Gaara enter the balcony. I've never been able to fully recover from killing innocent people. I kept hearing them scream. I can still smell their blood on my hands. It will drive you to the edge. If it weren't for you, Temari and Kankiryu, I would have been lost. I would have just become some violent killer. Me? Yes. You understand my loneliness, my pain. Oh. Yeah, I remember that. The 2 ninjas talked until sunrise about their past, dreams, and other things. Naruto just wanted to talk about ramen. They waited until Temari woke up. They got home breakfast and headed east to wherever. So where are we going? Temari asked. To the next country, I guess. Naruto said. After another day of running, they reached the next country, the country of Metal-0. The country was known for its rich supply of metals. It was also the country where all the weapons were made. We should get some weapons that we might need. Metals are cheap here. Naruto said. I'm going to look in the jewelry shop. Temari said. How about we go buy weapons, sign in at a hotel, and then go to the jewelry shop? Okay. After buying some extra shurikens and signing in at a hotel, the trio went to the jewelry store so that Temari could have a chance to go window shopping. On the outskirts of the town of the village, 2 men, one with a bandaged sword and another with red eyes were conversing. Itachi, what should we do? Kisame asked. We'll kill the other 2 and take Naruto. He might be dangerous now. He's already Anbu. I heard that the 5th was considering choosing him to be the 6th. It'll be 2 against 1 after we kill the sand ninjas. But Gaara of the desert is a strong ninja. He's got that gourd. Your blade can probably take down the sand barrier. I dipped my kunai in poison. It'll keep Naruto unconscious until the antidote is injected. Itachi said as he showed Kisame his kunai. It was a normal kunai, but the tip was purple. The trio left the jewelry store with a smiling Temari. She had gotten a sparkling diamond ring on her right 4th finger, an engagement finger on the right hand. They had some dinner and decided to call it a night. While they were in the hallway, as they took a turn, they saw two people they didn't want to see. Kisame and Itachi. Long time no see Naruto. Itachi said. Naruto, Gaara, and Temari immediately got into their fighting stances, but the two Akatsuki members remained calm. Uchiha, Itachi. Naruto said scornfully. No way. Uchiha Itachi, as in the Anbu from Konoha who wiped out the Uchiha clan at the age of 13, Temari asked. Naruto nodded. Come with us, Itachi said. And no one will have to die here. Can't I at least kill his two friends? Kisame asked. No. I don't want to attract any unwanted attention. Now, Naruto, will you come with us peacefully, or will one of your friends have to die? Gaara and Temari stepped in front of Naruto. Sand came out of Gaara's gourd, while Temari pulled out her fan. You'll have to get through us first. Temari said. Kisame dropped his sword onto the front in front of the trio to try to intimidate them. Alright then. I hope this will be fun. Itachi, you take Naruto, I'll take the sand ninjas. Kisame said. Then he charged at the sand siblings with his sword and tried to hit Gaara, but Gaara's sand created a wall. Interesting. Temari quickly attacked with her fan, but Kisame dodged. Damn it, there's not enough room to use my attacks here. Give up now, Naruto. You cannot beat a Sharingan user. Itachi said. That's when Sasuke and I still kicked him. He is a weakling. Page Bunshin no Jutsu. The hallway was filled with clones of Naruto. Itachi let Kisame destroy the clones that charged at them with his sword. Eventually, almost all of the clones were destroyed. Then Kisame saw two Narutos. One with his right hand out and the other moving his hands around the other Naruto's right hand. After making a ball of chakra, the Naruto clone disappeared in a puff of smoke and the real Naruto charged at Kisame with his Rasengan attack. Kisame managed to block it with his sword, but the sword was broken and Kisame was hit in the upper chest by Naruto's Rasengan. Let's get out of here. Naruto said. The trio ran downstairs and ran away from the town, leaving Itachi and his wounded partner. Sorry for screwing up, Itachi. Kisame said. He could feel so much pain. There was a crater on his right chest. Don't worry, Kisame. I'll get Naruto. You've been a good partner. Goodbye, friend. Itachi said as he watched Kisame breathe his last breath. He then picked up the body of his dead friend and left the town looking for a place to bury him. After running for a few hours, the trio stopped. Who were those guys? Temari asked Naruto. Uchiha Itachi of Konoha and Hoshigaki Kisame of Mist. They're S-rank criminals who are part of a dangerous organization called the Akatsuki. They've been after me for a couple years because I carry the fox demon that tried to destroy Konoha, and the reason I was hated in Konoha. Naruto explained. We won't let them take you. Gaara said. Thanks guys. So this is why he understands Gaara's sorrow. Temari said in her mind. After a moment of silence, Naruto pulled out a map. Okay, the next village is no way. What is it? Temari asked. The next village makes the best ramen in the world. The trio ran to the village of ramen. They finally go to the village after a couple hours. Welcome to the village of ramen. A beautiful young woman wearing a blue kimono said. You must be new here. There's going to be a festival tonight, so please stay. It'll be fun. Okay. We'll stick around. Naruto said with a smile. A festival, huh? Sounds fun. Temari said. Gaara remained silent. The trio got some ramen and then waited until night for the festival. Gaara decided to stay at the hotel and miss the festival, so Naruto went with Temari. Temari bought a kimono to wear for the festival, so Naruto waited while she got changed. Temari finally came out, but for Naruto, the wait was worth it. Temari was wearing a beautiful blue kimono which was very similar to the one the girl that greeted the trio was wearing. It also had a cherry blossom pattern. Her hair had been tied back into a ponytail. She also had a mini fan in her hands. Like what you see? Temari asked while doing a beautiful pose. Naruto's lower jaw fell to the floor. Temari giggled and said, I'll take that as a yes. Temari walked side by side with Naruto down the street and caught the eye of all the men around her. They went to the festival and saw lots of people and bright lights. Everyone seemed to be having a good time. Naruto competed in the ramen eating competition and won. He also won a bunch of prizes for Temari at the games area. They went everywhere during the festival. After walking around for a long time, Temari and Naruto went to a bar and ordered a bottle of sake. This festival is so fun. Temari said. Yeah. Naruto agreed. They sat at the bar for almost an hour talking about various things while drinking their sake. So Naruto said. How are you dealing with the loss of your brother? Temari remained silent, but tears fell onto the table. It's hard to keep my emotions bottled up inside. It's almost killing me. Well, it's not good to bottle up your emotions because, sooner or later, they'll burst and hurt those who care about you. So, if you need to cry, then cry. Naruto said as he moved closer to Temari. She decided to let her emotions out. She held onto Naruto and sobbed. Temari cried about everything, her life, the death of her parents, and her brother, Kankuro. After a while, Temari had finally finished crying. I've gotten your jacket all wet. She said after she pulled away. It's okay. Well, I'm gonna get dried up now. Be right back. Naruto said. Temari watched Naruto go into the washroom and decided to wait for him outside. Naruto thought about what Temari had said. How she had a loveless life. Her brothers and father didn't love her and she had no friends. Naruto wondered if having a loveless family would be worse than having no family at all. After drying up, Naruto went outside to meet up with Temari. They went to get some more prizes and then went to the last event of the festival, which was a dance. Naruto didn't want to go, but Temari dragged him along. They were in the middle of the dance floor. Naruto tried to leave, but Temari wouldn't let go. Come on. It'll be fun. Temari said. No way. A slow song began to play and people started to slow dance. Temari grabbed Naruto's left hand and placed it on her hip. She put her right hand on his left shoulder and they held hands with their other hands. Don't blame me if I step on your feet. Naruto said. I won't. When the song was almost over, two couples accidentally bumped into Temari and Naruto, which caused their lips to meet. It took a couple seconds for Temari and Naruto to realize they were hugging. However, neither of them tried to stop. In that instant, Temari forgot her sorrow and felt joy. Temari was disappointed by how her first hug happened, but was content because of the quality of the hug. The hug was so good that she didn't want to end it. Her body, unfortunately, was disagreeing with her. Her lungs demanded oxygen. They finally separated, looked away and remained silent. Naruto began to say. That was nice. Temari said. Yeah, that was. Should we go to the hotel now? Yeah, we should. The walk back was silent. They walked side by side, not looking at each other. Finally, Temari stopped and decided to say something. Okay, this has been too weird. It was an accident, right? Yeah, Naruto agreed. I mean, come on. It was a dance. People hug. It was just a friendly hug. Yeah, that's right, a friendly hug. I mean, friends hug, right? I guess, but it was an accident. It's not like we wanted to. Yeah. Temari said as she got to her room. Since rooms were cheap but small, Temari got a room for herself. Naruto and Gaara were across. Well, this is my room. I had fun tonight. Good night, Naruto. Temari said as she went in. Yeah, good night. Naruto went into his room and tried to get some sleep. However, he could not stop thinking about Temari and that hug. He tried to think about Raymond instead, but Temari was on his mind. He got up and decided to go speak with Temari, since it wasn't really late. Gaara wasn't in the room. Naruto thought that Gaara was outside going for a walk since he could not sleep. Naruto tried to get some sleep, but Temari and the hug that they shared kept coming to mind. He got up, put his clothes on, and went for a walk. It was late. Everyone had gone home and people were cleaning up. The street lights and the moon were the only source of light around. Naruto tried to figure out what the feelings he was feeling were. An image of Temari came to his mind and wouldn't leave. He went to a 24-hour ramen stand. He ordered a bowl of pork barbecue ramen and a bottle of sake. Naruto poured some sake for himself and quickly wolfed down the dot. Do you ever stop eating ramen? Asked a familiar voice from behind. Ramen is my favorite food, Gaara. I love it more than I used to love Konoha. Naruto said as he took a sip of sake. Gaara took a seat next to him, took a cup and held it out. Share the wealtha and it's something my friend and I say when we want some of each other's food. Gaara said to Naruto. Naruto grabbed a large bottle of hot sake and poured some for Gaara. Are you still having nightmares? Gaara asked. Yeah. Find a happy place. It'll calm you down. Hopefully, you'll stop having nightmares. I see. Naruto said as he took another sip of sake. So, where are we going tomorrow? Gaara asked. I don't know. We can go north to the country of thunder or south to the country of herbs. That country has some of the best healers. Naruto said. Okay. We should discuss this with Temari tomorrow. Agreed. Naruto stood up, stretched and yawned. Well, I'm going to try to find a happy place and sleep. See you in the morning. Naruto said as he paid for the ramen and sake. On his way back to the hotel, Naruto tried to think of a happy place. He thought of ramen, but it didn't seem to relax him. Then, Temari came to mind again. He felt calm and safe. He felt like all the worries in the world were gone. All his fears and sorrowful memories were forgotten. Then he realized it. Aw crap. I am in love with Temari. Naruto said out loud. When he got to the hotel, he slowed down his pace and walked to his room, but he stopped when he reached his room. He stood there, thinking, and then he turned around and faced the other door, which was Temari's room. He raised his hand and knocked a couple times on the wooden door. Temari's paw. Temari was tossing and turning in her bed. She was having trouble getting to sleep because she was annoyed by the image of Naruto which appeared in her head and the memory of the hug they shared. When she thought about that hug, she felt safe and joyful. She felt all her fear and sorrowful memories go away. She lay down on her bed and looked up at the ceiling. Then she realized it. Crap, Temari said. I'm in love with Naruto. Temari said. Then she heard a knock on the door. She wondered who it was. She put on a robe and went to answer the door. Naruto was about to knock again, but Temari opened the door. Hi. Naruto said. Temari didn't say anything. Instead, she hugged Naruto. After pulling away, they took a breath and hugged again. This time, Naruto pulled Temari closer to him. While hugging Temari, he went into her room and closed the door when he got in. Naruto woke up with the sun shining on his face. He looked left. He saw Temari sleeping peacefully and smiled. Temari finally woke up. She turned her head to Naruto. Good morning, beautiful. Naruto said to her with a smile. Good morning. Temari said back with a smile as well. Last night was, Temari began. Amazing. Naruto finished her sentence. Yeah. Temari said. So, what does this make us then? Temari asked. Friends that have a good time. What about an intimate relationship? You mean like becoming a couple? Naruto asked as he stared up at the ceiling with his hands behind his head. Temari moved closer to him and put her left hand on his chest. Yeah. A couple. I've always wanted a boyfriend. Sounds nice. I've never had anyone that cared about me like that. After the two lovers got dressed, they went to a cafe nearby to have breakfast with Gaara. During breakfast, Gaara noticed something weird going on between the two. What's up with you two? He asked. Well, Gaara, we have something to tell you. Temari said. What is it? Naruto and we're a couple now. Gaara raised his right eyebrow. When did this happen? Last night. That was too much information. I didn't need to know what you two did last night. Naruto and Temari looked away and turned red, making it obvious to Gaara what they did. Oh. Well, okay. So, where should we go next? We'll go east. It takes us further away from our countries. Naruto said. We have a problem. We're running low on money. Gaara said. We should try to get a job. Naruto said. Who's going to hire a bunch of S-rank criminals like us? Temari asked. Good point. I have a friend in the country of Herb. Her name is Shizune. She might hire us for something. Naruto said. I guess we could go there. Temari said. The trio walked for 3 days and 3 nights. According to the map, they were only halfway there. Maybe we should have checked the distance to the country before we went. We missed out on some famous places. The East is famous for tourist attractions and other things like that. Temari said as she sat down drinking tea at a rest stop. Then let's stay in the next country. I think we could use a little relaxation time. Naruto said. Good. Because I desperately need to take a bath. Temari said. And get some new clothes. The trio arrived at the next town by nightfall. The next morning, after being well rested, they went their separate ways. Temari went to the bathhouse while Naruto went to a ramen bar and Gaara just walked around the town. After eating a delicious bowl of ramen, Naruto walked around town. He saw a long line of men that led to a large bookstore. What's going on? Naruto asked one of the men. A new volume of books comes out today and their writer's going to sign them, the man said excitedly. Naruto immediately realized that Jiraiya was in town. He didn't know if he should get Temari and Gaara and run or try talking to him. He's probably peeking in the crap. He also realized that Jiraiya's favorite peeking place was the female side of the bathhouse. He also remembered that Temari was there. He quickly ran to the bathhouse which was on the other side of town. Temari was enjoying her nice hot bath. She had felt so dirty since her last shower. She was hoping to have a nice quiet bath, but the bathhouse was full of loud people. She was having a hard time relaxing. Then she looked around and saw a bit of white hair sticking out of the wooden fence. Pervert, she screamed. Naruto was running towards the bathhouse. He was close to it and then he heard a scream coming from the bathhouse. Damn that old pervert. Naruto said angrily in his mind as he continued running. After a while, he finally got to the bathhouse. As soon as he stopped he heard someone say, Kamitachi. Then he saw someone get thrown into the air along with some wood from the fence. The person that was thrown into the air came crashing onto the ground. Naruto walked over, closer to the person that suffered an attack from Temari. The man had white hair and a large scroll. Hiro-sen, Naruto said loudly as he pointed his finger at him. Jiraiya lifted his head. Naruto, it's been a while. Still loud as ever, I see. Then he passed out. Naruto turned his head to see an angry Temari breathing heavily with her fan out. He also saw 3 stars on her fan. Crap. She's pissed off. Naruto muttered to himself. Temari calmed down as soon as she saw Naruto. She quickly got changed and went over to him and the unconscious pervert. She gave him a kiss on cheek and asked who he was. They dragged him all the way back to the hotel they were staying at. They put him on one of the beds and splashed some water on him. Jiraiya screamed as he finally awoke. What did you do for Naruto? I'm not Naruto. You perverted old nonsense, Temari said angrily, grabbing her fan. Wait, Jiraiya said with fear in his eyes. Temari let her fan go and calmed down. So who exactly are you? Temari asked. What? You've never heard of me? I'm Jiraiya. He quickly pulled out his latest issue of his book. Author of novels, he said proudly. Temari was greatly angered by his pervertedness and smacked him multiple times on the head with her fan. Then she heard the door close and saw Naruto come in. Lem guess he hit on you right, Naruto said. No, he just told me how perverted he is. I shouldn't have left you alone with him. Boy. Naruto. Jiraiya had a serious look on his face. What? Let's pee. I found a great place other than the bathhouse. Immediately, Temari and Naruto both began to kick him. They stopped after leaving many bruises and bumps on him. Damn Senin. Then Jiraiya got serious again. Naruto, he said in a very serious tone. I've heard something about you. It regards an incident in Konoha. The same goes with you and your brother. Well then, are you going to kill us? No. I'm too old now. I can't beat you. However, I do believe that you didn't kill those people on purpose. You've never hated the villagers for doing something that bloody. Lately, Naruto paused. My seal has been unstable. I've been losing control sometimes when I fight. Maybe I can help. Lift up with a shirt and show me your seal. Naruto did as he was told. Jiraiya observed the seal carefully. Then he saw a crack on the seal. Have you been in a battle with Orochimaru recently? Jiraiya asked. Yeah. It seems that this is his doing. Only the third and the Sanins could do something like this. Jiraiya made some seals and put his hand over Naruto's seal and took his hand off the seal after a minute. There. I'm done. Thanks, old man. You should rest a bit. Right now, your chakra is resealing the seal. So stay in bed for another day. Jiraiya said as he stood up ready to leave. Well, I've got to go sign some books. I guess I'll see you around sometime, Naruto. And he left. Temari followed. Jiraiya, thank you for helping Naruto. Temari said. No problem. He's been a good apprentice of mine. You should consider yourself lucky. You can't find guys like him easily. How did you? I saw that look in your eyes. I saw how much you love him. Do me a favor and take care of the kid. He's had a lonely life. Yes. One more thing. Jiraiya took out his book and a pen, signed it and tossed it to Temari. It's a gift for Naruto. Give it to him, will ya? Temari got mad again and threw the book at Jiraiya. You damn pervert. Konoha. Tsunade was signing a bunch of papers that she didn't bother reading as usual. Then she heard a knock. Come in. She said. An Anbu entered the room. You called for me, Tsunade-sama. Yes. I did. You can take your mask off, Sasuke. Since Neji is on another mission, I need you to do this mission alone. I want you to find Uzumaki Naruto. And tears started to fall from Tsunade's eyes. Are you okay, Tsunade-sama? Sasuke asked with his mask off. I never wanted this to happen, but the feudal lords demanded this. Your mission is to kill the missing nin, Uzumaki Naruto. Sasuke went east to try to find Naruto and kill him. He heard about a village of Ramen and went there to investigate. He asked some of the villagers about Naruto. They said that he was here a couple days ago with a blonde woman with a fan, a red-haired guy with a gourd. I'm close. After her little chat with Jiraiya, Temari returned to the room to see how Naruto was doing, even though she was only away for a minute. She sat next to Naruto, who was lying down on the bed. How you feeling? She asked. Kinda tired. Well, your chakra is getting sucked out, so you should feel tired. Just rest. We'll go after your seal is sealed. Temari said as she stood up and began to walk away. Naruto quickly grabbed her hand. Please, don't leave me here alone. Tears started to form in Temari's eyes. She sat back down next to him and hugged him. I'll never leave you. I promise. Gaara had been walking around town for a while. At the same time, he was battling Shukaku in his mind. Kill them. Tear out their insides. Create a river of blood, Shukaku instructed. No, Gaara tried his best to resist. Shukaku tried to weaken Gaara by giving him a headache. Thank you, a man said to Jiraiya, who just signed his copy of the latest volume of the book. Jiraiya felt a disturbing chakra close by. What is that weird chakra? He wondered. He then stood up. I'm sorry everyone, but there's something I must do right now. Please come back in an hour or so. All the fans were disappointed as they began to leave the bookstore. Jiraiya stood outside the store trying to sense the chakra. Once he detected it, he went in that direction. Temari had been sleeping next to Naruto, and you might have gotten the wrong idea if I said sleeping with Naruto, until she and Naruto were awakened by the presence of a demonic chakra. Temari sat up with fear in her eyes and started to tremble. Gaara, she said quietly and fearfully. What about Gaara? Is this chakra his? No, it's Shukaku's. He's transforming. Naruto tried to move but couldn't. You stay here. Temari said as she grabbed her fan and ran out the door to Gaara's location. Temari ran in the direction of where the chakra came from. But while she was running, she felt that chakra had disappeared. When she finally found Gaara unconscious, she also saw Jiraiya next to him, helping him up. Gaara, Temari called out, running towards him. He had a demon in him. I've sealed it now. Jiraiya informed her. Thanks again, Jiraiya. Jiraiya returned to the bookstore to sign more books, and Temari took Gaara back to the hotel. She put Gaara on the other bed. What happened to him? Naruto asked. Jiraiya sealed Shukaku. Now, Gaara won't be bothered by him anymore. He can also sleep now. Temari said with a smile. They rested for the rest of the day and next day, the trio began to travel once more. They had all become slightly happier since their meeting with Jiraiya. Naruto's seal was fixed, Shukaku was sealed, and Temari no longer had to fear that Gaara might lose control of her and others. Gaara finally got to sleep. It had been too long since he was walking at a steady pace, talking, laughing, and having a good time. Then Naruto stopped dead in his tracks. "Come out, Uchiha." The black figure fell from the tree. It was Uchiha Itachi. "Naruto, I have no intention of hurting your friends. Come with me peacefully and they will not die." "Never," Naruto said as he got ready to fight. "Very well. Gaara. Take Temari and run." Gaara dragged Temari and got to a safe distance. As soon as Gaara and Temari were at a safe distance, Naruto ran towards Itachi with a kunai. Itachi took out his kunai and countered Naruto's moves and kicked him back. After Naruto quickly recovered from the kick, he tried to think of a strategy to beat him. "He can counter all my moves with his Sharingan. Damn it. Shikamaru is the one who makes up strategies. I could really use his help right now." Itachi pulled out some shurikens and threw them at Naruto. Cage shuriken bunshin no. More shurikens appeared. Naruto dodged them all, but he fell for Itachi's trap. Naruto moved left to avoid the shurikens, and Itachi had gone left with a poison kunai and slashed Naruto's left arm. "Surrender." Itachi warned Naruto. "How can I beat him?" Page bunshin no. One bunshin was made. Then Naruto created a ball of chakra. "It's that technique again. The one that killed Kisame." Itachi ran towards Naruto to try to stop him from creating the ball of chakra, but it was too late. Itachi quickly moved back and his back hit a tree. "Shine!" Naruto yelled as he tried to hit Itachi with the dot. Itachi dodged, and Naruto hit the tree, creating a large hole which caused the tree to fall. "Damn it. I'll have to use it." Naruto quickly accessed the Kyuubi's chakra. Red chakra surrounded Naruto. Then Naruto charged at Itachi once more. "Gaara. We have to help him." Temari screamed at him. Gaara remained silent. Temari grabbed her fan and tried to run to Naruto to help him, but Gaara stopped her with her sand. "Gaara. We have to help him again." Gaara remained silent. Naruto and Itachi pulled out a kunai and held it with their right hand. They both slashed each other in various areas. Then they ran towards each other in a head-on collision. They both tried to stab each other, but they both used their left arm to hold back each other's right arms and avoid the kunai. Sasuke was asking the villagers of a village east of the country of fire about Naruto. Then he felt an enormous amount of chakra coming from the east. He quickly headed for the source of chakra. When he got closer, he saw two people fighting. It was Naruto and Itachi. He formed the seals required to use Chidori. As soon as he was ready, he ran at his quickest speed. Both Naruto and Itachi noticed Sasuke coming at them from behind Naruto. Itachi used his Mangekyou Sharingan to paralyze Naruto, so he would not be able to dodge Chidori. Naruto couldn't get himself to move his body. Crap. A paralysis technique. Temari watched as Naruto and Itachi fought each other. Then she saw Sasuke run towards Naruto and Itachi with Chidori. She remembered that move well. It was the only move that was ever able to hurt Gaara. "Naruto. Run. Hurry," she screamed, trying to warn him. At the last moment, Itachi moved right, but he couldn't move. He saw sand covering his feet. Sasuke raised his arm and thrusted his arm into Naruto and went through his right lung and hit Itachi as well. However, Itachi was able to move a little and managed to avoid a hit to his heart. Instead, the attack hit his collarbone and punctured his left lung in the process. And I'm taking Bio 12 right now, and my teacher's a bio geek, but she told us a lot of neat stuff. Sasuke pulled his bloody arm out. As soon as Sasuke pulled his arm out, Naruto collapsed. There was a hole on his chest the size of Sasuke's arm, which was from the Chidori attack that went through him and hurt Itachi. "Uchiha, Itachi. You're going to die here today." Sasuke said in a hateful tone as he began to activate his curse seal level 2. Sasuke and Itachi continued to stare at each other until Sasuke made the first move. He jumped back and threw some shurikens at Itachi, which he dodged easily. While Sasuke and Itachi were fighting, Gaara took the opportunity to escape. He used his sand to drag Naruto back. When Gaara's sand brought Naruto to him and Temari, Gaara covered the wound with his sand and carried him as he and Temari ran for the next village, leaving Sasuke and Itachi to fight each other. Temari and Gaara were running as fast as they could to get away from the Uchiha brothers and to the next town, which was famous for its healers. "Shouldn't the demon's powers be healing him?" Temari asked. "Itachi must have poisoned him during the fight. We have to hurry." Naruto said he had a friend named Shizune in the next town. "Let's look for her." Itachi and Sasuke stood a couple meters apart. "You're going to die today, Itachi." Sasuke said scornfully. "You're still weak. You are an Uchiha. You shouldn't be so weak. You've been depending on that disgusting curse seal given by that snake nonsense." "Shut up and die," Sasuke said as he charged at Itachi with another Chidori. Itachi waited for Sasuke to get closer. When Sasuke tried to hit him with Chidori, Itachi grabbed his arm, twisted it, breaking some bones in the process, and hit Sasuke in the heart with his own attack. When Itachi let go of Sasuke's arm, Sasuke's body fell to the ground and the curse seal was deactivated. Then, Itachi fell to his knees, then to the ground. He looked up at the sky. I shouldn't have underestimated them, he said with his last breath. Gaara and Temari had finally entered the village with Naruto. They searched for a large crowd of people so they could ask about Naruto's friend, Shizune. They found a large crowd at the marketplace and began to ask if they knew someone named Shizune. Then they heard someone say Naruto's name from behind. The two Sand siblings turned around and saw a woman with groceries coming towards them. What happened to Naruto? She asked the two Sand ninjas. Are you Shizune? Temari asked. Yes. Please, tell me what happened to Naruto. He was injured during his fight with Uchiha Itachi. He was also poisoned. The poison prevents the Kyuubi's powers from healing Naruto. Gaara explained. We'll have to hurry. Follow me. Shizune said as she ran home, followed by Gaara, Temari and an unconscious Naruto. On the way, Shizune asked about Naruto's injuries. When they reached Shizune's home, she dropped her groceries on the kitchen counter and told Gaara to put Naruto down on the dining table. Gaara did as he was instructed. She quickly examined Naruto's wounds and began to heal him. Then she noticed that his wounds weren't healing. Naruto's got an anti-regeneration poison in his blood. He'll need an antidote. Shizune said. Then she went into a storage room full of a variety of liquids. What is this room? Temari asked as she looks at all the different liquids in awe. This is my husband's storage room. He keeps all his antidotes here. He's a teacher at the medical academy. He specializes in poisons and antidotes. Ah, here it is. Shizune said as she grabbed a small jar of a blue transparent liquid. After grabbing the antidote, they left and went back to Naruto. Shizune injected it into his bloodstream and began to heal him. After half an hour of healing, Shizune stopped. She looked exhausted. She had used up a lot of her chakra to heal Naruto. After a couple minutes, Naruto finally woke up. Shizune, Temari and Gaara crowded around him. What happened? He asked. You had a hole the size of someone's arm in your chest. You're lucky to be alive. Shizune said. Hey, Shizune-san. Thanks for healing me. No problem. You should rest. I'll make some ramen for dinner. Thanks. Naruto said. Gaara and Temari helped Naruto get to a guest room upstairs. They helped Naruto get into bed and left him to rest. Shizune went to make dinner and Temari went to help. Gaara went to explore the town. Shizune chopped the vegetables while Temari cooked the noodles and meat. Thank you for healing Naruto. Temari said to Shizune. Don't worry about it. The food's almost done and my husband and son are coming home soon, so can you bring Naruto down for dinner? Shizune said with a smile. Sure. Naruto, wake up. Temari said. Naruto slowly opened his eyes and smiled at the beautiful face before him. Hey. He said. Hey. How are you feeling? Temari asked. I've been better. But, it felt really weird when Sasuke's arm was in my chest. Creepy too. I'm sorry for making you worry. I just didn't want you to get hurt. Naruto said. It doesn't matter now. You're okay, so I'm glad. Let's go downstairs now. Dinner's ready. We're having ramen. Naruto immediately got up. Temari smiled and helped him get downstairs. After a while, Gaara returned, followed by Shizune's family. Her husband was a tall black-haired young man whose name was Rito. Their son also had black hair, and his name was Dan. They enjoyed a delicious ramen dinner and had a fun conversation too. Fortunately, Shizune's house was big and had enough guest rooms. Each of the trio slept in their own rooms. The next day, Shizune got up early to make a big breakfast for her family and guests. After making her breakfast, she went to wake up her family first, then her guests. After waking up her family, she proceeded to the other side of the hall to wake up her guests. While she was still in the hallway, Temari came out of the bathroom looking sick. Are you okay? Shizune asked. I'm not sure. I've been vomiting in the morning since yesterday. Temari said. Well, I can check your health and see what's wrong after breakfast if you'd like. Shizune offered. Before Temari was able to thank Shizune, she rushed back into the washroom. I wonder, Shizune thought. She then went into Naruto's room and woke him up. She also changed his bandages and left to wake Gaara up. After everyone was awake, they went downstairs to eat. There was a variety of food to eat. There was toast, eggs, bacon and fruit. Everyone started eating. Then they all stared at Temari, who was putting jam on her eggs and ketchup on her toast. What? She asked. You're eating toast with ketchup and eggs with jam, Naruto said. So? I was right. Shizune thought. After breakfast, Shizune's son went to school and her husband went to work. Gaara went to buy some supplies for the journey to the next village, while Naruto rested some more so that his wounds would heal quicker. Shizune took a small blood sample and told her that she'd have the results in a little while. Temari went upstairs to Naruto's room to see if he was awake. She walked down the hallway and entered the room where Naruto was staying in and sat down on the bed. Hey. He said. Hey. What's wrong? Naruto asked. It's nothing. I was just feeling a little sick, so Shizune took a blood sample. I hope you'll get better soon. I think my wounds have finally healed. That's good. I wonder where we should go next. Naruto sat up and gave her a kiss on the forehead. What was that for? Temari asked. Just felt like it. Then Temari kissed Naruto on the cheek and he kissed her back until Shizune came into the room. I'm sorry for interrupting. Shizune said. Hey, Temari and Naruto said awkwardly. Well Temari, I have the results of the "you're pregnant." Pregnant said and shocked Naruto and Temari. Yes. You two are going to be parents. Shizune said, trying to give them the good or bad news. She decided to leave the two alone so she left and went downstairs to take care of anything she needed to take care of. Pregnant, we're gonna be parents, Temari said to herself. She wasn't sure if she should have been happy or not. She turned to Naruto and asked, what are we going to do? I don't know. I'm going to go talk to Shizune. Temari said as she left the room, closing the door behind her. Temari walked downstairs and looked for Shizune. She found her in the kitchen making herself a cup of tea. Hey, said Temari. Hey. How are you feeling? Shizune asked. I don't know if I should be happy or sad. I'm not ready to be a mother and I'm sure Naruto's not ready to be a father. Neither of us ever knew our parents. My father was always busy as was my mother and I can barely remember. Not only that but we have no place to stay. We're S-rank criminals. How would we be able to take care of our child? Well, you three are welcome to stay with us for as long as you'd like. Also, if you don't want to have the child, I can offer you a solution. After her talk with Shizune, she went back upstairs to talk with Naruto. She opened the door and leaned against the door. What should we do? Naruto asked from the other side of the room. Naruto, I want to keep the baby. I'll understand if you don't want to have anything to do with us, Temari said with tears coming down from her eyes. Naruto got out of the bed and walked towards Temari. Then he embraced her with his arms and said, I'll never leave you. I'm gonna be with you when you have our child and I'm gonna be there with you to raise our child together. So don't think I'll leave you because I won't. I love you too much to leave you. That and Gaara would hunt me down. Temari laughed at his last sentence. She wiped away her tears and kissed Naruto on the forehead. I love you too. 4 years later, Country of Fire, Forest. The group was running from the border which divided the country of sound and the country of fire. We've got to hurry. We have to tell Tsunade-sama, said one of them. They were being pursued by 8. After a while, one of them stopped and turned around. Hanabi. What are you doing? Said the leader. Report back to Hokage-sama. I'll take care of them. Said she has formed some seals and activated her Byakugan. The other 3 stayed and decided to help. We're not letting you die here. Said one of them. Don't underestimate the power of the Hyuga clan. Said Hanabi. The sound was about to attack, but they couldn't move. Hanabi, you may be better than your sister, but you're never going to be as strong as Niji. I never asked for your help, Shikamaru-sensei. Hanabi said. Shikamaru, who was wearing a vest, appeared from behind the tree. Hey Kiba. Take care of these guys will you? Shikamaru said. Then 2 gray whirlwinds appeared from below and hit the. What are you two doing here? The leader asked. We're here to make sure you brats don't get killed. You guys have just recently become, you know. Kiba said to them with Akamaru beside him. Akamaru had grown from a cute white puppy into a fearsome red dog. Shikamaru, Kiba and Akamaru escorted the 4 back to Konoha. The 6 ninjas and 1 dog made their way up to the Hokage tower to report back to Tsunade. They entered her office and gave their report. Hokage-sama, we have bad news. The sound ninjas are being organized into parties for something big. It seems that Orochimaru is finally making his move. Since the hidden village of sand is currently at war with the hidden village of mist, we cannot expect to have their help. The report. Tsunade thought about the situation the village was in. Shikamaru, what do you think of this? Tsunade naked. We don't know how many ninjas there are. We're probably going to need Jiraiya. If Naruto were here, Shikamaru immediately stopped talking as soon as he realized he said Naruto's name. Mentioning Naruto always made Tsunade sad and cry sometimes. Sorry, Hokage-sama. Shikamaru said. It's okay. It's about time I stopped being. I got over it. You're all dismissed. Later that day, Kakashi entered Tsunade's office. Yo. You're late, yelled an angry Tsunade. Sorry. I was. Shut up, Kakashi. No one believes your excuses. Anyways, I want you and 3 to track down Jiraiya and bring him back to Konoha. The next day, Hyuga, Niji and 1 and 2 chains stood in a line in front of Tsunade. I've called you here because I want you to investigate something. The country of waves has been one of our clients. However, it's been a couple years since they came and hired ninjas for anything. I want you to investigate. If you find a large number of sounds, return here immediately. Niji will be leading this mission. After receiving their mission, Niji, the 2 and 1 left Konoha to go to the country of wave to investigate. Country of wave. The 18-year-old Inari cast his fishing net into the river under the bridge built by his grandfather and named after Naruto, hoping to catch some fish. He managed to catch a lot of fish to sell at the market with his mother. He dumped the fish into a barrel and carried it home. He took a look at the bridge, remembering all the memories of it, and walked back to the village. On the other side, behind the bushes, a group of Konoha ninjas were hiding. 3 of them wore vests and 2 of them wore vests. One of them had some seals. Byakugan. He said. What can you see? Asked one of them. Not much, said Neji. My Byakugan is limited to a 50-meter radius, thanks to the damn seal. I just see a bunch of people and that guy with the fish. No hostiles yet. We'll need to get closer. Neji said. Then he and the other ninjas disappeared instantly. Neji and the ninjas got closer to the village. Nothing suspicious so far. We should go talk with the village leader. To make sure everything is okay. The ninjas casually walked into town. They passed by the market and still couldn't see anything suspicious. Then they arrived in the residential area where the village leader was. Strange, Neji said. What is it? Asked on his right. This is the residential area and there are no children playing. Something must be wrong. Neji said seriously. Maybe that's cause this is the alley. A pointed out. Neji's sweat dropped. And I need a little humor in my fic. I like comedy. It's something Neji wouldn't do, but I thought it would be funny. I feel like Naruto right now. Neji said to himself in his mind. The group of ninjas walked past the alleyway and into the street. There was no sign of life anywhere. Then they heard a sound from their right. They saw a little blonde boy come out of a house a couple meters away. I'm going to Sada's mom. I'll be back in a bit, the boy said as he stood in the middle of the street. A woman also appeared out of the house with a coat saying, don't stay too long. Your father will be home any minute. Then both the woman and the child turned and saw the ninjas of Konoha. The woman froze. The boy hid behind the woman. Mommy, who are they? The boy asked. They're just ninjas. Go to Sada's now. The woman said to her child. Neji, isn't that one of them? Began to say. Temari from the sand village. I know. I recognize her. She's an S-rank criminal. We'll have to take care of this matter. Said the other. The boy went off and the woman stood alone in the street with 5 ninjas. Can I help you? The woman asked. One of them threw some shurikens at her and she easily dodged them. It's definitely her. But I wonder where her fan is. Then 2 charged at her before Neji could stop them. Without warning, the 2 that were charging at the woman were thrown back. In front of the woman stood a man with blonde hair wearing an orange jumpsuit. If you try to harm my wife in any way, I will kill you all slowly and painfully. The man threatened. The 2 who were struck down were shaking in fear. Neji took a look at the man and realized who it was. He smiled. It's been a while, Uzumaki Naruto. The man looked at the only one left standing. Yeah, it has been a while since Neji. Why are you here? It's Uzumaki Naruto, the other said with fear in their eyes. Calm down. Neji commanded. Naruto, can we talk about this someplace else? Follow me. Naruto said as he and his wife, Temari, went inside. Neji ordered the ninjas to wait outside and then went inside. Temari went to make some tea. Neji followed Naruto into the living room and took a seat across from him. So Neji, what are you doing here in a country like this? With 2 and 2, Naruto asked. Tsunade-sama sent us to investigate. The country of waves hasn't hired ninjas for 4 years. She suspected that it might have something to do with the sound and sent it to us. So the war is finally happening. Neji nodded. Temari came back with 3 cups of tea. She placed them on the coffee table and then took a seat next to Naruto. Neji picked up the hot cup of tea, took a sip and put the cup back down. So, you 2 are married now and I assume that the kid is yours too. Yeah. A lot happened in 4 years. Indeed. There are some things I want to make sure of. Like what? Did you kill those civilians? And Sasuke too. I killed the civilians, but my seal was unstable at the time because of my fight with Orochimaru. As for Sasuke, no, I didn't kill him. He almost killed me, but I didn't kill him. Since you think he's dead, I assume Itachi killed him. This makes some sense now. I knew you wouldn't kill those civilians no matter what. It seems I was half right. Sasuke's disappearance also makes sense now. I thought you might have killed him, but I was wrong. So, what are you going to do now? Tell Tsunade that I'm here. I don't know if I'll say anything about you. I'll understand if you tell her. But, I will kill anyone who tries to hurt my family or friends, even you and the others. Alright then. I'm off. Maybe I'll see you again. Neji said as he left. As soon as Neji came out of Naruto's house, one of them asked what they talked about. Neji said it was private and they returned to Konoha. When they got back, they reported to Tsunade. How was your mission? Tsunade asked. There are no sound ninjas there. The village simply didn't need our help with anything. Neji reported. Anything else? No. Very Okijama, one of them came to say. Raiko, Neji said with a murderous look. What is it? Tsunade asked. Be quiet. Neji, what are you hiding? I need to speak to Tsunade-sama alone. Leave, and don't say anything to anyone. Neji said. He waited for them to leave before he spoke. Tsunade-sama, the reason the country of waves hasn't hired ninjas for the last couple years isn't because they didn't need help. It was because they had their own ninja. At least 2 to be exact. Most likely there is a 3rd. Who were they? I believe the Gaara of the Sand is there. I have confirmed that Temari of Sand and Naruto are there. Naruto? Yes. I've also spoken with him. It seems that he is not the one responsible for killing Sasuke. It was Itachi. Also, when he killed those people, his seal was unstable. That makes some sense now. I want you to go back and invite him here. I don't know if he will come. He wouldn't just leave his family to come back to the village that hated him. Family? Yes. He's married to Temari and they have a son. That's unexpected. Invite them too then. I'll give them a pass to come to the village. Tsunade said as she went into her drawer and took out 3 passes and handed them to Niji. Tsunade-sama. Are you going to ask Naruto to join us in the war? Yes. I just hope he's willing to help. Highly unlikely, but it's still worth asking. Niji arrived at the country of waves by nightfall. He knocked on Naruto's door. Naruto's son, Ichigo, answered the door. Hi, is your father home? The boy nodded. May I come in? Niji asked. Ichigo, who is it? Said a familiar female voice from the house. It was Temari. She welcomed Niji in, and he followed Ichigo and Temari to the dining room where Naruto was enjoying some sake with Gaara. They both turned to the door and saw Niji. So you're back. Grab a chair. Naruto said. Niji pulled up a chair and took a seat next to Gaara. Temari sat across from him. On her right was Naruto, and on the left was Ichigo. What did you tell Tsunade? Naruto asked as he poured some sake for Niji. Everything. I didn't want to mention you, but one of them blabbed. What did she say? Niji pulled out 3 passes and showed it to Naruto. She wants to meet you. Naruto took the passes. Why 3? She also wants to meet your family. She doesn't hate you for what you did. She's been different ever since you left. I guess you were like a son to her. I'll think about it. Why don't you stay for the night? It's too dark to go back now. Alright. Thanks. After Temari tucked Ichigo in, she prepared a guest room for Niji. Then she went back downstairs to talk with Naruto. Do you think you'll go? Temari asked. Well, I would like to talk to Tsunade and get some ramen. I'd also like to show you and Ichigo around Konoha. I don't know. We're labeled as S-rank criminals. Besides, the people probably still hate you. It's not like they'll ever stop hating me. Well, if you go, I'll go too. I'm sure Ichigo would love to go. He's always been stuck in this country. He's never had anywhere else to go. Temari went to bed ahead while Naruto went up to Niji's room to talk with him some more. He entered the room and took a seat on the floor. How's the team? Naruto asked. When Sasuke had left with the Sound 4, Naruto, Niji, Shikamaru, Choji, and Kiba were chosen to retrieve him. The mission was their first success as a new team, and they get Sasuke back in this fic. We went our separate ways after you left. Hiashi-sama trained me for a bit. Then I started going on missions again. Kiba and Shikamaru came quickly and had some students, but they already made it. Choji goes on A-rank missions unless he's training. I miss them. We made a great team, didn't we? Yes, we did. We may not have been called the 5. Sorta like the thing for Orochimaru, but we were definitely not a team to mess with. I've been thinking about the invitation, Naruto began to say. You can think. I didn't know that was possible. Niji said with a smirk. Anyways, I think I'll accept Tsunade's invitation. Also, I'm going to bring my family with me. But I will kill anyone who tries to harm my family. Agreed. We'll leave tomorrow after breakfast. The next day, after a delicious breakfast, Niji, Naruto, Temari and Ichigo got ready to go. Gaara stayed behind because there were only 3 passes and he had some work to do. After a long walk, they arrived at the outskirts of the village of Konoha. Then Niji, Naruto and Temari suddenly stopped. What's wrong, mommy? Ichigo asked. I see 10. They're not that fast. Must be. Niji said. Then he tossed 2 to Naruto and Temari. Temari guarded Ichigo while Naruto and Niji surrounded Temari and Ichigo so they wouldn't get hurt. Then the level ninjas arrived. They were sound. Niji and Naruto charged at the. A minute later, they were dead. After a little more walking, the group of 4 finally reached Konoha. There were 2 guards at the gate. Niji, one of them, called out. Then they saw Naruto and trembled in fear. Calm down. Niji said. He was invited here. Naruto and his family flashed the pass. Yes, sir. Don't tell anyone about them. Niji ordered. We don't need an angry mob right now. Then he placed Temari and Naruto. Mom, you look different. Temari's face was changed and her hair had grown down to her waist. Her eyes were changed to green. Naruto's hair was dark and a little long. It was also tied into a ponytail. His eye color was changed to brown. Don't worry, Ichigo, we're still your parents. We just need to keep this on for a little while. Naruto explained. Then they passed the gates. Naruto took a deep breath. Tadema. Kakashi wiped the blood on his right cheek. He and his team had been ambushed by sound ninjas while they were searching for Jiraiya. He covered his Sharingan eye with his forehead protector and checked to see if anyone was alive. A group of 20 had ambushed the group of. Kakashi looked around, hoping to find some of his team members. Kakashi said, a voice from behind one of the many trees surrounding his area. It was Genma. He was injured. Where's Takata? Kakashi asked. Ed. You go on ahead. We just slow you down. We'll go back to the village and report the ambush. You go and get Jiraiya-sama. Will you two be alright by yourselves? Yeah. Just go. We need Jiraiya-sama. Alright. I hope you guys make it back to Konoha safely. Kakashi said as he left. Neji, Naruto, Temari and Ichigo managed to get to the Hokage's tower without drawing any attention. They walked down the corridor leading to Tsunade's office. Ready, Naruto? Neji asked. I guess. Naruto said as he opened the door. The group of four entered the room and saw a pink-haired girl sitting across Tsunade. She turned her head and saw Neji, a woman, a man, and a little boy. Both Sakura and Tsunade stood up to greet them. Hello, Naruto. Tsunade said. Naruto and Temari deactivated the dot. Hey, Bachan. With a smile on her face, Sakura ran up to Naruto and hugged him. It took Naruto a moment to recover from his shock. He wasn't expecting Sakura to hug him. He thought that she thought Naruto was the one who killed Sasuke. After recovering from his shock, he hugged her. I missed you, Naruto. She said as she pulled away after hugging him. Hey, Sakura. Sakura looked at the woman standing beside him and a little boy holding her hand. Who are these two, Naruto? My family. This is my wife, Temari, and my son, Ichigo. Wife, son? Yeah. Sakura crouched down and was now face to face with Naruto's son, Ichigo. She smiled and said, Hi. Hi. She stood up and faced Naruto. He's so cute. I'm sorry to break up the reunion, but I would like to talk to Naruto alone, please. Tsunade said. Sakura, can you give Ichigo and Temari a tour of the village? I'm sure Ichigo would like to see Konoha. Yes, Tsunade-sama. Wait, said Naruto. I'm not letting anyone take my family anywhere without me. I'll go with them. Neji offered. Naruto hesitated. Just remember what I said about my family, Neji. Don't worry. The new group of four left, leaving Naruto alone with Tsunade. Have a seat. Naruto sat where Sakura was previously sitting. How have you been? Tsunade asked. Fine. I met up with Shizune a couple years ago. She's doing well, in case you're wondering. That's nice to know. Naruto, Neji told me about the incident. Also, I'm sorry I sent Sasuke to track you down. I was ordered to do so by the feudal lords. If Sound tries to harm my family, I'll join the war. If not, you're on your own. You read my mind. That wasn't the only reason I asked you to come. I did miss you. So did your friends. I miss them too. Naruto, if you help us fight the war, I can restore your citizenship of Konoha. But the people will still hate me. Not if you're Hokage. I don't care about being Hokage anymore. It was just a childish dream. Naruto, I'm going to choose a sixth soon. I want it to be you. I like the life I live in the country of waves. But they don't have a ramen restaurant as good as the ones in Konoha. She got him. She knew he couldn't resist. I'll think about it. However, you have to give citizenship to Temari, Ichigo and Gaara. Also, I want you to take the criminal status off of us. It's better than a no. One more thing. Have you heard of the massacres that have gone on in various countries? Tsunade asked. Yeah. Must be Orochimaru. The Akatsuki are secretive, unlike Orochimaru. I wonder what he's planning. Tsunade wondered. Why don't you go out and visit your friends? I'm sure they'd like to see you. I'll go with you so that the villagers won't do anything stupid. Temari was holding Ichigo's hand as she walked with Sakura and Neji. Fortunately, no one really recognized or remembered Temari. The group of four walked all around Konoha and came to a stop at Ichiraku Ramen. Hey Ichigo, do you want to eat some ramen? This place is the best. Sakura said. The little boy nodded. They entered the shop. Welcome. Said Ayan, the daughter of the owner. Hey Neji. This is surprising. I only see you once a year with the others. What's she talking about? Temari asked. Can you get us 4 barbecue pork ramen please? Ayan. Neji ordered as he and the others sat down. Every year, Shikamaru, Chaoji, Kiba and I come here for ramen. It started after our first mission as a team. Naruto was there too. Every year, we came and had a bowl of ramen to celebrate our team's first successful mission. We came even though Naruto left. We always ordered one more bowl hoping that Naruto would smell it and come back. Ayan came back with the ramen and the 4 began to eat. Naruto tried to avoid the stares and glares. And hey, that rhymed. He was receiving from the villagers as he walked side by side with Tsunade. I wonder where they are. Said Naruto as he looked around hoping to find his family. Why don't we take a break? Let's go to Ichiraku. I'm sure you'd like some ramen. Tsunade suggested. Liar. You just want some sake and a place to sit down. Naruto said. Tsunade smiled. You know me too well. They went to Ichiraku where they finally met up with Sakura, Temari, Neji, and Ichigo. Naruto took a seat next to Temari. Naruto said the owner. You're back. I've missed you. Business was awful without you. Well, I'm back for now. So I'll have the usual 5 barbecue pork ramen coming right up. As he began to make a bowl of ramen for Naruto. Hey Ichigo, do you like ramen? Sakura asked. Ichigo nodded with the biggest grin ever. He had already finished 2 bowls. He's definitely your son, Naruto. Neji said. After enjoying the afternoon at Ichiraku Ramen, Naruto and his family decided that it was time to leave and go back to the village. Tsunade, Sakura and Neji escorted Naruto and his family to the gates of Konoha. I hope to see you again, Naruto. Tsunade said to him. Maybe. Bye. Naruto said as he waved to his friends. Then he began walking home with his wife and son. Naruto. Watch out. Neji warned. A dozen shurikens appeared from the forest. Neji and Sakura threw their own shurikens to counter the ones thrown at Naruto and his family. 10 sound ninjas appeared from where the shurikens came from and charged at Ichigo and Temari. Naruto knocked 6 of them down, but the other 4 got past him. Sakura quickly took out 2, while Neji took out the last 2 just before they were about to harm Ichigo and Temari. Are you alright? Naruto asked his family. Yeah. We're fine. Tsunade. Naruto turned to face her. I accept your offer. The trip back to the country of waves was silent and uncomfortable. Both Temari and Naruto said nothing to each other and kept quiet. Only Ichigo and the forest which surrounded them made a type of sound. After the long walk, the Uzumaki family finally reached the bridge. Gaara waited. How did it go? Gaara asked. Temari grabbed Ichigo's hand and walked past Gaara without saying anything. What did you do? He asked Naruto. I joined Konoha in their war against Sound. Oh. That explains it. I assume Sound tried to attack Temari or Ichigo. Yeah. What is she offering you? She'll remove our criminal statuses and give us citizenship in Konoha. Also, she offered me the position as the 6th Hokage. I thought you gave up that dream. I did. I don't care about being Hokage anymore. My family is all that matters. So when are you leaving? Tomorrow. Should I go with you? No. I need you to protect them and this village. Also, I need you to stop Temari from coming to Konoha to try to help. It's too dangerous for her. Alright. But you better come back alive. Temari won't be able to handle it if you die. And she's got a son to look after too. I don't plan on dying anytime soon. Before they knew it, they had reached their home. Temari went into the kitchen and began making dinner while Ichigo went to play. After a silent dinner, Temari did the dishes. She went upstairs and stayed there. Naruto sat across Gaara on the dining table. I've never seen her this mad. Naruto said. That's because you've never done something like this. Gaara, I need you to take care of them if I don't come back. You're coming back, so don't worry about it. I'm just saying that. I will. Don't worry. Just come back. Good. Naruto got up from his seat and walked to his room slowly. He passed by Gaara and went through the living room. He slowly walked up the stairs, his heart beating rapidly. The only thing he feared other than losing his family was Temari when she's mad. He approached the door and took a deep breath before entering. Temari's pav. Temari sat on the bed curled up in a ball, crying her eyes out. She was worried she might lose Naruto like she almost lost him when he fought Itachi. She heard the door open and immediately grabbed a kunai from the drawer and threw it at the door. Naruto's pav. Just as Naruto entered the room, a kunai was thrown at him. He managed to catch it. You should watch where you throw these. What if it was Ichigo? I aimed for your head and Ichigo isn't even 4 feet. Temari said. Can we talk? Naruto asked as he got closer to Temari. There's nothing to talk about. Temari said. This is something I've got to do. Why? You don't need to fight. You're not part of Konoha anymore. So why do you have to fight? I already told Tsunade that I'd help and I won't take my words back. Besides, my friends are there. I can't let them fight alone. I can't let them die. Also, I want to get rid of Orochimaru, so I won't have to worry about him trying to harm you and Ichigo. Why would he come after us? Because I've screwed up his plans many times already. I'm sure he'd like to get back at me. I almost lost you once. I don't want it to happen again. Naruto sat on the bed next to her. Temari moved away from him. Go sleep downstairs. I don't want to be near you right now. Temari said to Naruto without looking at him. Naruto got off the bed and walked to the door. He stopped at the door and turned to Temari. I love you. Then he left. If you loved me, you wouldn't leave me. Temari said quietly after Naruto left the room. Soon after Naruto left, Ichigo came in. He was wearing his blue pajamas and had a teddy bear in his arms. What's wrong, mommy? Ichigo asked. Temari wiped the tears on her face. Nothing. Ichigo got onto the bed and sat next to Temari. Why aren't you sleeping? Temari asked. Is daddy leaving us? Ichigo asked. I don't know. I hope he doesn't. It's not my fault, is it? Of course not. It's grown-up stuff. Temari was telling Ichigo a story about a hero from a village that hated him until Ichigo fell asleep. Then she gave him a kiss on his forehead and fell asleep next to him. The next morning, Naruto woke up and began packing. He had to sleep on the couch because of his argument with Temari the previous night. He walked back upstairs and opened the door. He saw his wife and his son. He saw what he thought was a beautiful sight. Then Temari woke up and quietly got out of bed, trying not to wake up Ichigo. Temari left the room and went downstairs with Naruto. She made some coffee for the both of them. Neither of them spoke for a long time. The uncomfortable silence was finally broken by Temari. I want to go with you. No. It's too dangerous for you. Hey. I remember times when my brothers and I were stronger than you. You can't go. This is my war. You don't need to get involved. He kissed her hand and then he hugged her for what seemed like forever. Gaara and Ichigo came downstairs. Hey. Naruto said to them. Gaara nodded and Ichigo ran up to Naruto and gave him a big hug. NOKPPL. This is the part where you go oh JK. Hey Ichigo, Naruto said to him as he crouched down to Ichigo's height. Can you do me a favor? Sure dad. Ichigo said while trying to look tough. You're big and strong so I need you to take care of your mommy for me. Okay, Ichigo nodded. I'll definitely protect mom. Said in a determined tone which reminded Naruto of himself when he was a child. Naruto smiled. Good. I'll leave her in your care until I come back. Ichigo nodded. Naruto walked towards the door until he was stopped by Gaara. Take care. Gaara said. Naruto turned to face him and smiled. You're talking as if I'm going to die. I'll be back, okay? Don't worry. Then Naruto turned around and exited his house. As he began to walk to the bridge by himself, Temari came out of the house with her fan. Gaara and Ichigo followed. Wait, Temari said. I'm going with you. No. You can't go. I've already told you that this is my war. You can't stop me from going. Looks like I have no choice. Naruto walked up to her. He hugged her, then kissed her. I love you. Sorry. He whispered into Temari's ear before knocking her unconscious. Naruto grabbed her before she fell and handed her to Gaara. She'll wake up in a day or two. Take care of her. Make sure she doesn't come to Konoha. It's too dangerous for her. Oh, and I won't be coming back until she's not so pissed off. So, send me a message when she's not angry. She's scared when she's angry. So the great Uzumaki Naruto is afraid of his wife. Gaara said with an amused look on his face. Tell anyone and you died. Then Naruto began to walk to the bridge. When he got to the bridge, he saw a large crowd. It was the villagers. They had come to say goodbye and to wish him luck. They cheered for him. Good luck, Naruto. Come back soon. Go kick some butt. Naruto passed through the group of people and waved at them as he crossed the bridge which was named after him. He then began his journey back to Konoha. Tsunade was in a meeting with the elders of Konoha, as well as some. They were discussing strategies for the war against Sound. Shikamaru was explaining some strategic plans he had for the war. They had sprites within Sound. They found out that Sound was going to attack Konoha like they had done 10 years ago. Is there anything else someone would like to say before this meeting is over? Asked one of the elders. Yes, Tsunade said. I intend on choosing a. I will choose Naruto to be the next. One of the elders slammed his fist onto the round table. That's absurd. We can't let that monster become the next. It's my decision. I just thought I'd let you all know before he becomes Hokage. Tsunade yelled. One problem, said another member of the council. It was Neji. Hiashi was away on a mission and Neji had to take his place in the meeting. Uzumaki Naruto would never accept the position of. At least, not anymore. He's got his family in the country of waves and he's given up that dream. Tsunade had a sad face. She was hoping he would become the next. If no one has anything else to say, this meeting is over. We should make preparations for the war as soon as possible. Shikamaru, set up the defense perimeter. The meeting was over and began to leave the room. Shikamaru left to begin preparations for the war, while Neji went to scout the area outside Konoha. Tsunade wandered around the village. She saw that the villagers were happy even when they were threatened with war. She found a bar and had a couple bottles of sake. She sat alone, with a bottle of sake. She missed the old days when Shizune used to tell her she shouldn't be drinking so much, and when Naruto was just a kid with a dream of becoming the next. I miss the good old days. Naruto walked under the brightly shining sun. Then he heard Neji call out his name. He looked up. Neji came down from the trees. Hey Neji. What are you doing here? I'm scouting. So you're going to help us? Good. We'll need your help. I could have asked Gaara to come, but I need him to keep Temari and Ichigo safe. I see. Well, the village is pretty close, so we'll be there in a little bit. Shikamaru was planning the defense of Konoha. He went down to the gates to strengthen the defense. When he got there, he saw Neji and Naruto. Shikamaru ran over to them. Hey Naruto. Hey Shikamaru. Long time no see. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing that you're here. None of the plans I've come up with have you in it. I didn't know that you were gonna be here. Looks like I'll have to redo my plans. This is so troublesome. You lazy bum. The three ninjas went into town and got some ramen. They were soon joined by Choji, Kiba and Akamaru. They talked about the old days and asked Naruto about the last 4 years. Naruto asked his friends about their last 4 years. Then he came and told Naruto to go see Tsunade. Naruto walked to the Hokage Tower and his friends went to prepare for the war. He opened the door and entered. Thank you for helping us, Naruto. Tsunade said to Naruto as he entered and sat across Tsunade. Well, I didn't want my friends to die. What did your family have to say about you joining us? Well, Gaara's at home with Temari and Ichigo and Temari. She's going to kill you when you get back after the war, right? Yeah, Tsunade laughed. I never thought you'd be afraid of your wife Naruto. Shut up. So how big is Orochimaru's army? Konoha has a higher chance of victory now that you're here. It'll be better if Jiraiya and Kakashi can come back in time. I was wondering where Kakashi was. Well, I'm going to train a little. I haven't fought a real battle for a long time. Naruto walked to the place where the names of the heroes of Konoha were. He looked at the long list. Sarutobi, Obito, Hade, and the list continued. He stood there for a while, thinking about whatever came to mind. Then he saw an image of his family. It brought a smile to his face. I won't have my name carved on that list. Then he went to train. Kiba was out on a walk with Akamaru and his girlfriend, Hinata. Both of them grew in height. Kiba no longer wore his jacket. It was replaced with a vest. Hinata's hair had become longer. Hinata wasn't. She had decided to use her Byakugan in the medical field. She was known as the chakra doctor because she knew a lot about the chakra circulatory system. There. I just based 68 words into the fic cause I was bored and procrastinating. They were talking about what they'd do after the war. They went to get something to eat, but then they heard an explosion at the gate. They knew what it meant. Sound had finally attacked. Kiba gave Hinata a kiss on the hand and then ran to the gate with Akamaru. Naruto heard the explosion. Looks like it finally started. Then he went to Hokage Tower to be given instructions. Tsunade stood on top of the tower. She looked down on the village and saw the citizens retreating to their designated areas. This is it. Tsunade called Naruto. He jumped up to the tower and stood next to her. What do you need me to do? You and I need to fight Orochimaru. So wait. If Orochimaru summons, we'll both need to summon. I hope Jiraiya and Kakashi get here quickly. An army of sound ninjas rushed in through the broken gates. They didn't find anyone around. The squad leader was about to spread the squad out but was interrupted. Hey, the sound ninjas looked up. They saw 5 ninjas standing on the roof of a building. One had long hair and wide eyes, the other stood next to a dog, another had big eyebrows, one had a head shaped like a pineapple, and the last one was a female. She had 2 scrolls in her hands. The ninja with the big eyebrows jumped down in the middle of the sound ninjas and was now surrounded by 50 sound ninjas. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a bottle of sake. This'll be easy. He then drank the bottle and fell onto the ground. The sound of ninjas laughed. The squad leader grabbed his sword and walked over to Rock Lee. I'll make this quick. He raised his sword, ready to strike. Then Rock Lee quickly stood up and kicked the sword out of the squad leader's hand. You fell for it. Then Lee began to kick the crap out of the squad leader. The other sound ninjas were both angered and scared. The rest of the sound ninjas charged at Rock Lee and Lee repelled them all. Biba laughed. This is the funniest strategy you've come up with, Shikamaru. Well, this is both funny and efficient. Shikamaru said. Your turn, Tenten. Tenten opened her scrolls. She formed some seals. Sashiryu. She jumped into the air. Her 2 scrolls surrounded her in a double helix form. Then weapons appeared from the symbols in the scrolls. Tenten grabbed any weapon which appeared from the scroll and threw them at the sound ninjas who were farthest away from Rock Lee. Within 5 minutes, 49 and 1 had been defeated. Temari slowly opened her eyes. Her vision was blurry at first, but soon became clear. What happened? She asked. Then she remembered what happened. She sat up. Naruto went. Didn't he? Temari asked in a sad tone. Yeah. Gaara answered. Tears began to form in her eyes. And then she began to sob. They'll be back. Don't worry. Jiraiya, Kakashi, and 3 others were on their way back to Konoha. It took the group 2 days to find Jiraiya. Kakashi, what's the status of Konoha? Jiraiya asked. Tsunade-sama can't beat Orochimaru alone. Then we'll have to hurry. The Konoha ninjas increased their speed, hoping to get to Konoha in time. The sound army was rushing into Konoha. Orochimaru was behind the sound army. He was accompanied by 2 male ninjas. Then Kabuto came. Orochimaru-sama. It seems that our first squadron has been defeated. Kabuto reported. Those weaklings. At least they were able to break through the gate. Now, send in all the troops. Destroy Konoha and kill everyone, Orochimaru ordered. All the sound ninjas rushed in. Shikamaru, Kiba, Neji, and Tenten looked down and saw a drunken Lee kicking or punching anyone within range. Then they saw the sound army rush in. Well, it looks like it's time to get serious. Said Shikamaru as he waved a flag. Hey guys. Let's have a little competition. Kiba suggested. Oh? I'm listening. Said Tenten. Let's see how many of them we can kill. Whoever kills the least has to buy us dinner after this battle. Kiba said with a grin. Alright, then. Said Neji. Then he quickly jumped down to start fighting the sound ninjas as they came in, while keeping his distance from Lee. Hey. No fair. I didn't say start. Kiba yelled at him. Let's go, Akamaru. Then he and Akamaru, followed by Tenten, jumped down to kill as many sound ninjas as they could. Damn. This is so troublesome. Said Shikamaru as he looked up at the clouds. Then he jumped down and joined his friends. Soon after, many more Konoha ninjas came to aid the five. Naruto stood next to Tsunade. It's weird. Orochimaru hasn't been summoned yet. You're right. Something's wrong. I can feel it. Then they heard another explosion far away from the main gate. The wall was destroyed by a big purple snake. Crap. I was hoping he wouldn't summon that thing again. Said Naruto. Looks like it's our turn. The two ninjas quickly went to where the snake was. Then they saw Orochimaru on the snake's head. Naruto. Why are you here? You're supposed to be a criminal. Shut up. You're really annoying, you know. This time, you're going to die for sure. Manda attacked. Naruto and Tsunade dodged the attack and summoned. Shikamaru looked at where the explosion came from. He saw a big snake. But then he saw Tsunade and Naruto. It's best not to get in their way. Then he continued fighting. Naruto, Tsunade, and Orochimaru stood on the heads of the creature they summoned. No one made a move. Then the Manda finally attacked Gamabunta, and I can't remember the name, and I don't have the Naruto eps right now, so I can't get the name. Gamabunta jumped over the snake and pulled out his knife. So, it's you again. Said the giant frog. Maybe I'll make sure I get my snakeskin wallet this time. The frog leaped into the air and held its knife up high, ready to strike. The snake moved to the side to avoid the knife. The slug spat acid, and the snake moved again. Then the frog landed on Manda's tail and cut it off. Orochimaru. You kill those two. I'll take care of the frog and slug. Orochimaru jumped off Manda and headed for the Hokage face statues. Tsunade and Naruto followed. The two ninjas followed Orochimaru to the top of the Hokage tower, where the third Hokage's funeral was held years ago. Orochimaru turned and smiled. He clapped his hands together. Kuchius. Ito Tensei. Then a small vortex appeared from the ground and a casket rose from the vortex. Then a second one rose. And then a third one. You will die here. Said Orochimaru as he smiled. No. You will die here, Orochimaru said, a voice from behind Naruto and Tsunade. They turned around and saw Jiraiya, the most perverted ninja of Konoha. Jiraiya ran towards Sarutobi with a. Sarutobi waited till Jiraiya was closer. When Jiraiya was 2 meters away, Sarutobi tried to jump, but he couldn't move his legs. He quickly looked down and saw a clone of Jiraiya keeping his feet bound to the ground. Sorry, Sarutobi-sensei. Tsunade said with regret before her old master was killed by Jiraiya's. Tsunade looked at Jiraiya with a sad face. We did what we had to do. He would have been proud. Jiraiya said to Tsunade. Yeah. I'm sure he would be. Now let's go help Naruto. Naruto threw kunai after kunai and used every he could think of, but Orochimaru kept dodging or blocking the attacks. Arg, stay still will you. Naruto ordered. Perhaps I'll show you how fast I really am now. Orochimaru said before he increased his speed. Naruto couldn't keep up. Orochimaru slashed Naruto's back, then jumped away and then slashed Naruto's left arm. Naruto jumped away from his location, the top of the Hokage tower, and moved up towards the head statues of the former Hokages. When he was finally at the top, he saw the whole village. He felt some of the love he had for Konoha come back for a moment that seemed to last a lifetime. However, his moment was interrupted by Orochimaru following him up to the top. Orochimaru and Naruto stood still, across from each other. Look down and see my army. They will kill everyone in the village. They will. Orochimaru was interrupted by a cloud of sand that came from behind the enemy army. The sand village. I'm sorry, old man Snakeface, were you hoping that we'd all die or something? Cause we're the good guys. We always win. Naruto said with a sense of hope in his heart. No matter. I'll kill you, then the village, then your family. Orochimaru rushed towards Naru. Jiraiya quickly formed 2, 1 for each hand, charged towards the 3 caskets, and destroyed 2. Before he could form a third for the last casket, the casket opened, and Jiraiya jumped away. Smoke came out of the casket. When the smoke cleared, they saw the third, Sarutobi. Looks like we're having a reunion, Orochimaru said. The teacher and his students are together again after such a long time. Orochimaru took out a tagged kunai and inserted it into Sarutobi. Sarutobi's eyes became emotionless, as if he had become an empty shell. What have you done to him? Tsunade said in a loud and angry tone. What I did to the first and second Hokage the last time I came to Konoha. Orochimaru answered calmly. Now, Sarutobi, my puppet, go kill them. Sarutobi rushed towards the 3 defenders of Konoha with Orochimaru right behind him. Naruto. You take Orochimaru. Jiraiya and I will take care of the third, said Tsunade. Naruto nodded. Back in the country of waves, Temari paced around the living room while Gaara sat still. He'll be alright. He can take care of himself. Gaara said to Temari. How do you know that? It's Orochimaru. Naruto could be killed. Temari said. You're his wife, yet I have more faith in him than you. Gaara said with an amused look. Maybe you should have married him, then. Temari said with a small smile. I'd rather marry a woman. Gaara said. Then he stood up and walked towards the door. Where are you going? Temari asked. Our home village. Gaara answered. I want to see if I can get some reinforcements to help Konoha. I'm coming with you. I can't just stay here while my husband and my brother are doing something dangerous. Temari said, and she grabbed her giant fan and walked towards the door. Before Gaara could answer, Ichigo blocked Temari's path. You can't go, mommy. Dad told me not to let you leave and to protect you, so you can't leave. Besides, I can't make food and I'm hungry. Said the child. Just stay here and be safe. This is what Naruto would want. You would just distract Naruto if you went to help him, and I don't want to be burdened with protecting you if Sand decided to try to kill us criminals. Said Gaara. He stepped outside the house and turned around towards his sister and nephew. I promised to bring him back safely. Gaara slowly closed the door and began to run towards the direction of the hidden sand village. Naruto and Orochimaru faced each other. Naruto was waiting for Orochimaru to make his move. He kept his eye on Orochimaru while he tried to analyze the situation. He's just standing there. What is he waiting for? It's not like he's got any backup. He thought. And then it hit him. Naruto quickly turned back to see the Konoha army fighting the sound ninjas. But there were so few ninjas, and most were dead. It can't be this easy. He thought. Then he quickly turned back to Orochimaru, but he was gone. Naruto scanned his surroundings to try to find him. He saw his old master, Jiraiya, and the fifth Tsunade, fighting the third. Then he looked up and saw Orochimaru coming down with a sword pointed at him. He quickly jumped away and landed on a rooftop. That was close. Orochimaru said. It seems that you've gotten better. I had expected you to have dulled somewhat since you gave up your life as a ninja. By now, I assume that you've realized my army is too small. Orochimaru's eyes pointed to the east, opposite of where the Konoha and sound ninjas were fighting. Naruto turned his head to the east. In the distance he saw something headed towards Konoha. It was an army. A much larger army that outnumbered Konoha 2-1, and they were headed for the civilian hideouts. Then, Naruto heard chatter on the earpiece radio. All units. There's a large number of ninjas coming from the opposite side. All Jounins regroup on the east side. Everyone else assists them once the sound ninjas on the west wall are taken care of. Shikamaru said through the radio. Naruto looked east and saw a large army inbound for Konoha. He looked west and saw Jounins going east to engage the ninjas coming to reinforce Orochimaru. My new army is made of Jounins. Konoha will fall, Orochimaru said with a sense of victory. Gaara was running in the desert. All that surrounded him was rocks and sand. He slowed down and stopped once he reached an area. He looked around. You can come out now. Gaara said to his empty surroundings. Then a group of sand ninjas came out of the sand and behind the large stones. What are you doing here? Asked the squad leader. I came to ask for help. Konoha is under attack. Gaara told him. We know. We're mobilizing right now. We're almost ready to leave. But you won't be going anywhere. You are an S-rank criminal. You will be killed. Said the squad leader right before he and the squad attacked. Gaara released the sand in his gourd. Using the sand, he disabled the ninjas and bound them. Then he walked up to the squad leader. I came here to ask for your help in saving my brother-in-law and his people, not to kill you. I know what happened years ago. It was an accident. And I'll have to pay for it. But this is about Konoha. I'm offering you help. You have a chance to save the lives of many ninjas by allowing me to help. Gaara said to him. Then he released the ninjas. I'll go talk to my superiors. The leader said before he retreated to the village. Tell me, Naruto, why do you fight for these people? Orochimaru asked. They are the same people that banished you from the village and tried to kill you. Flashback. Naruto was in Tsunade's office. He looked out the window and saw the village making preparations for war. He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to leave Temari and Ichigo alone in the village while he was in Tsunade's office, unable to keep them safe. He turned around and realized he was standing right behind the Hokage's chair. He hesitates, but then he takes a seat in the chair. Then the door opened and Tsunade came in, holding a file with her right hand. Comfortable? She asked. Naruto jumped out of the chair. I was just keeping your seat warm. He replied. Tsunade chuckled a bit. Before handing Naruto the file she was holding. You can have the seat after this war if you help. Tsunade said to him. She tried to bribe Naruto using his past goal of wanting to be a dot. That dream is dead. What's this? Naruto asked as he accepted the file. Something your father left behind. I found it after you left the village. Tsunade walked over to her chair and sat down. Naruto sat in the chair across from her and looked over the contents of the file. I'm not sure if you know this already or not, but your father was the fourth, one of Jiraiya's students, and Kakashi's teacher. He's also the reason you've got a demon in you. Tsunade explained. Is that why I've got the demon? Because I'm his son. Why didn't anyone tell me sooner? All my life, I thought I was chosen to contain the demon because I was just some abandoned orphan. That's how everyone treated me while I was growing up. Naruto continued to look through the file. He found a note attached to the end of the file. He detached it and read it. It said, Dear Naruto, if you are reading this note, then he means that my seal has succeeded and you are the carrier of the nine-tailed demon. I'm sorry to place this burden on you, but this demon holds much power that could be used to protect the village if and when it is attacked by Orochimaru or another village. Your mother is gone, and soon, I will be too. We wish we could be there with you to watch you grow up to be a great ninja. No matter what, please protect the village. I love you, son, and I'm proud of the man you will become, well, have become. Your father entrusted you with the fate of the village. We need your help, Naruto. If you don't help, your friends will die, and Orochimaru will eventually see you as a potential host, now that Sasuke is dead. Also, you're still a marked criminal, so you never know who's going to go after you and your family. You may be one of the world's greatest ninjas, but you're no watch for a whole village. If you won't fight for us, fight for your family. Stop him here and now, and keep your family safe. Tsunade said to him. Then flashback, I figure I'd kill you now so that I won't have to deal with you later in life. Naruto said casually. Naruto jumped towards Orochimaru with a kunai. Orochimaru drew his sword from inside his body and stabbed Naruto in the heart with it, but Orochimaru realized that it was a decoy and jumped away from his position, looking all around for Naruto. Kakashi was rushing towards the west gate to intercept the Jounins headed for the village. He jumped from one rooftop to another until he saw Kabuto and stopped. Kabuto stood on a slightly higher rooftop facing him. I'm afraid you won't be going to the west gate anytime soon, Kabuto said with an overconfident look on his face. Kakashi lifted his headband to reveal his Sharingan. He then made the hand heals necessary to form his Chidori. You really think your little lightning ball can stop me? Kabuto asked, still being overconfident. Then Kabuto felt something sharp hit his chest. Actually, Kakashi said from behind. I do. Your Sharingan. Were Kabuto's last words just before he fell off the rooftop he was standing on. That was a lot easier than I thought. Kakashi said to himself before he began jumping towards the west again, followed by all the other Konoha Jounins. Jiraiya and Tsunade were fighting their old master, Sarutobi, who had risen from the dead and turned into a puppet. Jiraiya charged at his master with a Rasengan, while Tsunade followed Jiraiya from behind, with her right first ready to strike. Jiraiya missed his attack, and Tsunade came from behind and tried to hit Sarutobi, but she missed him as well. The old man's fast. Said Jiraiya. Indeed. Jiraiya, do you remember attack pattern D1? Tsunade asked. Attack pattern D1. Oh right. Oh. That's a good idea. I'll take points. Said Jiraiya. Tsunade ran towards Sarutobi with Jiraiya right behind her. Tsunade tried to hit him, but Sarutobi evaded and then grabbed her arm, which made Tsunade smile. She quickly grabbed Sarutobi and went behind him, binding his arms with her super strength. Now Tsunade ordered. The head on with his sword. He stabbed Naruto in the lower abdomen and twisted the sword while watching Naruto scream in pain until Naruto started to laugh. What's so funny? Orochimaru asked. Look. Naruto said, tilting his head down. Orochimaru's head is also tilted down, just like Naruto. I used Shikamaru's shadow technique to catch you. This is the end for you. You won't hurt anyone else anymore. Naruto formed a Rasengan with his hand while Orochimaru's arm mimicked Naruto's. Now die. Naruto commanded as he hit Orochimaru with his Rasengan. Naruto released the shadow bind and Orochimaru's body dropped to the ground. Naruto turned back and looked towards the village and the retreating Sound Army. He walked closer to the edge of the cliff, feeling weak. He was beginning to doubt that he would survive. Naruto pulled the sword out and dropped it, which fell down the cliff. And die Teamer, I'll never forgive me for dying. Naruto said before he fell on his knees, which caused him to lose his balance, and he fell off the cliff. Tsunade and Jiraiya were rushing towards Naruto's location to help him fight Orochimaru. They saw Orochimaru die and came to a stop. He did it. Tsunade rejoiced. Good job, kid. Said Jiraiya. Tsunade saw Naruto lose his balance and fall. Naruto, both Tsunade and Jiraiya rushed to catch him. Jiraiya jumped from tower to tower hoping to reach Naruto in time. Jiraiya landed on the Hokage tower with one foot but lost his balance and began to fall. Tsunade, from behind, grabbed Jiraiya's hand and tossed him towards Naruto. Jiraiya caught Naruto and headed back to Tsunade immediately. He placed Naruto on the ground to let Tsunade check his pulse and chakra flow. He's alive, but we've got to get him to the hospital. Tsunade informed Jiraiya. Jiraiya carried Naruto on his back and rushed towards the hospital. Tsunade went ahead to prepare the emergency room. The old leader burst into the main lobby and yelled out, "Prepare an ER." Immediately the nurses complied. A couple rushed to the ER to begin setting up for an operation, while two others fetched a stretcher to carry Naruto in once he arrived. There's no time for a stretcher. Just let Jiraiya carry Naruto. It'll be faster, Swan said to the nurses. When they all arrived in the ER, Naruto was placed on the operating table and looked at Tsunade. "Do your thing," he said to her, then he looked at Naruto. "Don't let me outlive you, kid," he said before leaving. It had been days since Gaara left to help Konoha. Temari stayed strong for her son. She tried not to show any weakness in front of him. She watched him play outside while crying her heart out, and when her son was asleep, she'd cry quietly in her room so that Ichigo wouldn't know. One morning, she went outside to the market near the village entrance with her son. She tried not to think of her husband as a brother, since it would only bring tears to her eyes. She felt the wind blow against her and heard the wind chimes make their sounds. Ichigo turned his head right towards the village entrance. He then hugged his mother's hand. "Mommy, look," Ichigo said. Temari complied. She turned her head and saw her husband accompanied by her brother and some ninjas. She ran towards Naruto and hugged him till he let out a small cry of pain. "Ow. Are you okay?" Temari asked. "Yeah. Got stabbed again, so, just the usual injury," her husband answered. Temari gave Naruto a kiss on the cheek. "I missed you. I thought I'd never see you again." "I thought." Temari was interrupted by Naruto's lips on hers. Gaara walked over to Ichigo and picked him up and walked towards their home. "Come on kid, let's go. You're too young for this." "So, I killed the bad guy, got our names cleared, and saw my family again. All I need now is a bowl of ramen and I can die happy." Naruto said with a smile. "Oh, right. By the way, I told Tsunade we're staying here. She was sad to see me go, but she'll get over it." "Are you sure you don't want to go back?" Temari asked. "I'm fine here. I just want to be with my son and my beautiful wife." Naruto said with a kiss. Then he grabbed her hand and said to her, "Let's go home."